Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. Well, we quickly look at stories trending in the world of sport. On the first issue that has to do with the death of late Ismaila Mabo, the first Nigerian coach for the Super Falcons to 1999 World Cup. Nigeria mourns passing of former Super Falcons coach Ismaila Mabo. That particular news came on Monday. The man at the age of 80 years. We lost the first Nigerian coach that took the ladies to the World Cup and also winning the AFCON for the women now for Nigeria in 1998. We celebrate him even though he's gone now. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. I have in the studio Olawale Peters. Good to have you.
Yeah, good evening, Adeni. It's my pleasure to be back to studio. And may the soul of the legendary coach rest in peace. And being the first indigenous coach and the first coach of the Super Falcon to win the WAFCON in 1998. I remember then during the competition, they scored 28 goals without conceding one. 28 goals. They won it and he defended it again with the team in year 2000 at South Africa. It took them to World Cup in 1999, got to quarterfinal. So there's not how you call someone a legend more than what he has achieved. So he laid the foundation for the Super Falcons. What other people are working, are enjoying now, he laid the foundation. And then he concentrated more on the local base players. And most of our players then, for instance, Magbemi and Akide and Co, they are all...
And Chijene, all of them play.
All of them are local players. So I think he has done very well. He lost his wife in October last year, and since he lost his wife, it has not been really easy on him. He has been sick for some times, and yesterday we had the news that it's no more. So rest in peace. The beautiful work that he has done will continue to speak for him.
Continue to speak for him. Talking about late Ismaila Mabo, they are the legendary coach who did well for Nigeria at the Nations Cup and also the World Cup. In fact, the record is set since 1999. No coach has been able to at least break that particular record for being the first coach to take us to the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup. Right now, we quickly look at an excerpt from the NFF concerning him, where they actually talk about Ismaila Mabo. Let's look at that. A gifted central defender, Ismaila Mabo started as a schoolboy international with the Nigeria Academicals team that broke the chain of Ghana's constant whipping of Nigerian teams. When he defeated Ghana's Academicals 1-0 in Accra on 13 February 1966, it was the first time a Nigerian team would defeat a Ghanaian football team on Ghanaian soil. 6 days later, the Nigerian boys again defeated their Ghanaian counterpart 2-1 in Lagos. His teammates included Peter Baby Aneke, Tony Ward 2 Igwe, the illustrious Sam Garba Okoye, and Eyo Essien. Mabo joined Mighty Jet of Jos and was part of that club's famous squad of the late 1960s and 70s. He also featured for the senior national team, making his debut in his 1972 African Cup of Nations qualifying match against Congo in Brazzaville on 22nd November 1970. Mabo would later go into coaching and was in the dugout as head coach when the Super Falcons defeated North Korea 3-2, lost to the USA and defeated Denmark 2-0 to reach the quarterfinals of the FIFA Women's World Cup in 1999. The team stretched Brazil at that quarterfinal stage before losing by a golden goal in extra time in Washington, D.C. on July 1st, 1999. Mabo won the first official at CAF Women's AFCON in 1998. He's also known as Field Marshal.
Yeah, Field Marshal, and there's no how we'll talk about the issue of the women's football in this country in years to come that will not make reference to him. One, he won the first WAFCON in 1998, and up to now, his best record of taking the Super Falcons to quarter-final at the World Cup is still our best performance at the FIFA World Cup. So he has set a pace for others to follow. What a way to live a life, and he died at the age of 78 years. So I think the only thing that we need to do now is to continue to pray for him, while the legacy of what he has done continue to live behind him.
Good one there. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace as we at least talk about the late Ismail Amabu for what he has done or what he did for Nigeria at the 1999, 1998, and in fact, as far back as 1966, where Ghana was really a thorn in the flesh for Nigeria. But right now, he was part of those team. They call it the Academicals, as he turned the table against the Ghanaian, and still he was able to set more record for Nigeria. Well, celebrating the legendary Ismail Amabu there. From there, let's move on to tonight's games. The UEFA Champions League is back, and the second leg in these games will be coming up tonight, where we'll be looking at the Champions League. Games will be on FC Porto, Inter Milan, and you have Manchester City, RB Leipzig. It's going to be a big one because right now we know that the four teams are going to be trying their best to see how they can turn the table. From the way it is, first leg we know what happens, second leg is coming up tonight. Who will turn things around between Inter and FC Porto? Is it going to be Manchester City versus German team, RB Leipzig? We have Olawale Peters here to talk about those games.
Well, it's going to be very dicey. Let's take the first one, that's the Inter Milan and
FC
Porto. And if you look at the two teams, I think I'll give it to Porto. Because if you look at the record between the two teams, they've only met once in the Champions League. That was the last match that they played in which Inter won 1-0. But if you look at Inter record away from home, their last 4 matches, they drew 1, they lost 2, and they won only 1. So that means they only won 1, they drew 1, and they lost 2. So they don't have a good record
against Porto.
Away from home. Then if you look at Porto team at home, from their last 4 matches, they've won 3. So that shows that they have good home record. And if you look at the two teams also, their last 5 matches, they both won 3, they lost 2-2. So you see that it's a very close gap between them. And the first leg was won by Inter, courtesy 1-0. So at this time around, there's no issue of away goal or home goal. You can bask in as many goals as possible. So I see the Porto winning tonight's match, because if you look at the statistic of their performance at home, and if you look at Inter performance away from home, I will give it to Porto. And you know the Portuguese team, when they are playing at home, they play with that passion, the supporters and everything that comes with them. So I think Porto will have an edge tonight. However, I don't know what will be who Jose Mourinho will be supporting tonight, because the two teams are the teams that he broke the record of treble with, Porto and Inter Milan. He won treble with both teams. So tonight, I'm sure we'll be it
will just be like, who will I support now?
Who will I support? Should I support Porto that brought me to limelight, that made people to call me the special one? Or I should go to Inter, that's when people thought it's over for me.
I was able to
achieve it and made him to go to Real Madrid from Inter Milan. So it's going to be a very tough one. But to me, I'll go with Porto based on the analysis and the statistics laid on ground.
Well, before we go to Man City Leipzig, now let's look at the possible lineup right now coming from FC Porto. Let's quickly look at the possible lineup. Then we'll look at Inter before we talk about Man City Leipzig. If you look at the goalkeeping department, the possible lineup here, we have 4-3-3. Diego Costa, João Mario, you have Ivan Macano, Pepe, Zaidu Sanusi, that's a Nigerian, Matheus Uribe, Marco Grujic, you have Steven Eustáquio, you have Goncalo Borges, you have Tony Martinez, and Pepe Aquino Cosa. That's 4-3-3 from FC Porto.
Okay, when you see a formation of 4-3-3, the first thing that comes to your mind is I want to attack. Because I'm having a 3 striker, and I'm having 3 midfielders also. The 3 midfielders can be collapsed also. It depends on how the game goes. For example, you start with 4-3-3. The 3 attackers, they'll be able to do what you expected them to do, just like what our Flying Eagles coach did during the final against Tunisia that we won 4-0. The first half, we were able to score 2 goals. Second half, you cemented your win by scoring another goal, making 3 goals. So you don't need 3 strikers again. At that time, what you need to do is to beef up your defense. So if you have a striker that can also play as a midfielder, you just withdraw the striker to come to the midfield. That's when you collapse the 4-3-3 to 4-4-2. But in a situation where none of the attackers can play as a midfielder, you now make a substitution to remove one of the attackers and bring in a defensive midfielder to shock up the midfield. 4-3-3 is an attacking option, and it shows that Porto, they are going there to win the match.
They are going there to win the match, and from the way it is right now. Let's look at Inter Milan. Inter Milan also, they are ready for this particular battle. They have their own formation. Although, let's look at the possible lineup there. A big one between the two. You have Andre Onana, the Cameroonian goalkeeper. They are going to be playing 3-5-2. And let's just look at it. Possibly their coach will be doing this. Alessandro Bastoni, Francesco Acerbi, Daniel Ambrosio. You have Federico Di Marco, Henry Mkhitaryan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. You have Nicola Barella, Denzel Dumfries. You have Romelu Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez at the front there. The big Lukaku and Martinez.
Okay, and if you compare this formation with that of Porto, you see the difference there. One is going to attack from
one is holding back.
One is holding back to play from the midfield, to shock the midfield. So that's why we are having 5 at the midfield. So that means if they cannot penetrate through my midfield, that means you can't get to my defense. So that is what they are trying to do, to control the game and to hold on to their one advantage they are coming with. So what they can even do again, apart from that, is if you look at the formation very well, like Mkhitaryan, for example, we know him to be a box-to-box player even when he was at Manchester United.
Yes.
So he's more of a supporting striker. So if
the same thing, Barella, Nicolo.
Yes, Barella also. So if worst come to worst, this formation of 3-5-2 is not sacrosanct. They can change it in the
course of the game.
Course of the game. That this 3-5-2 is not really working for me. That's why you need to have an utility player. As a footballer, you can't say that the only wing I play is 2-3-5. No, you have to be utility. You have to be useful.
Versatile.
2 or 3 wings. So in case something is not going out very well, they can convert you easily to another wing. I think it's going to be a very interesting match to watch tonight. 4-3-3 playing against 3-5-2.
A big one there. When you see the likes of Zanussi fighting against Barella, what will happen? Well, we wait to see who wins between the team they call Nerazzurris, that's Inter Milan, playing away FC Porto. Both of them, they've been champions before, courtesy of Jose Mourinho, and now they will be fighting tonight. Inter Milan, Porto, well, first leg in the favor of Inter. But right now, who wins this battle? We wait to see who scores and also win. Now, let's look at the big one also. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, obsessed with getting UEFA Champions League trophy for Manchester City. He couldn't do it. He tried everything he could against Bayern. When he was in Bayern, it never worked out. But right now, Manchester City, that's another trophy he's really covetous about. Against RB Leipzig, the German team that you may just underrated at your own peril. Now, they shared the spoil in the first leg, 1-1. What will happen tonight? Okay,
I think this is an opportunity for Pep Guardiola to show to the world that he's still a good coach, to show to the world that it is not Barcelona that made him. Because since he left Barcelona, he has not won the Champions League. And we are talking about a coach that is in a club that they've spent over 1.4 billion US dollars.
Okay, let's say $2 now.
Yes, dollars. We've not done the conversion to pounds. So what excuse do you have not to win? But the most annoying thing about Pep Guardiola is when you are expecting him to make a tactical change, he will make a change and you ask him that, is this guy playing Naira Bet? Because if not because of you playing Naira Bet, how will you be playing a final against Chelsea, the last one that they played? And you have a false mind, not that all your strikers are injured. So he has that issue, that problem. I hope he's not going to pay for that tonight. Like you rightly said, let him underrate RB Leipzig at his own peril. This is the only team in the world that after 8 years of establishment, they started playing Champions League. They were formed in 2009. And in 2017, they entered Champions League.
And since then, they never
And in 2020, they even played up to the semi-final before they lost to PSG. And if you look at head-to-head between them and Manchester City, they've only met 3 times. They won 1, they drew 1, they lost one.
So it's very balanced.
So it is not a game that Manchester United and Manchester City will go in there with full confidence that we are winning. Even though Manchester City also, they have a fantastic record at home. Their last 24 matches at home in Champions League, they've won 22. They drew only 2. So that shows that they have that good record, that confidence is there, that if I'm playing at home, I must win. But football, one day, the record will be broken. Who knows, maybe tonight, the record may be broken because they didn't win the match during the first leg. So the battle now is tonight, and you are playing a team that they don't concede more, and they don't score more also. They are very mindful when it comes to defending their goals and managing their... So they are very, very tactical. So I think the match, as far as I'm concerned, is 50-50. Anything can happen. We've seen what happens to Erling Haaland now. Yes, he's still scoring, but not like before when he joined the Premier League. It's like people have known his tactics.
Isolate him.
You don't even need to isolate him. What you need to isolate is isolate the pass that will get to him.
That's all.
Once you isolate the pass that will get him, you just redundant. And he's not a player that track back. He's not a player that track back to get the ball to make assists. From the 29 goals that he has scored in Premier League this season, how many assists has he made? 2 assists. So he's not a player that his own is to wait for the ball. But by the time you just mark him out through KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, you didn't allow him to make the pass. That is the end for Erling Haaland. I hope their coach Pep Guardiola will know this, so the focus will not be only Erling Haaland. He should try as much as possible. He has Alvarez also, who is a very good striker there. I think he should make use of them, not to concentrate on Erling Haaland.
Let's see what will be happening tonight as 4 coaches will be fighting out with their players. You have Marco Rose with RB Leipzig, Pep Guardiola with Manchester City. You look at Simone Inzaghi with Inter Milan, who will be taking on another coach from Porto, that's FC Porto, Conchigao there. Those are the matches that will be coming up. Quickly, let's look at Manchester City possible lineup before we look at Leipzig back-to-back. Well, you have Manchester City 4-2-3-1. From the goal post, you have Ederson, Kyle Walker, Manuel Akonji, Ruben Dias, Nathan Ake. In the midfield, you have Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez. At the wing, you have Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, and you have the robotic striker at the front, Erling Haaland. Quickly, let's look at this alongside RB Leipzig. They play 4-2-3-1, the same pattern. Possibly Andre Silva. Well, from the way it is right now, let's look at it this way. You have Janis Blažević, Marcel Hasenberg, Josko Vadio, fantastic player, Willy Orban. You have Benjamin Henriks, Konrad Lehmann, Amadou Haidara. You have Timo Werner, Emil Forsberg, Dominic Szoboszlai, and you have Andre Silva. Okay,
and I think what normally happens when you have a team using the same pattern, the same formation, is man-to-man. No respect, nothing. You have 4 defenders, 2 defensive midfielder, 3 attacking midfielder, and 1 striker. So only the striker will be left unmarked. But the 3 and the 2, they have man-to-man. So it's a game of strength. That is it. But if I'm Guardiola, I'm not going to use 4-2-3-1 in this situation. 4-3-3 will have been the best option for him to use, so that the concentration will not be on Erling Haaland. Now, this Erling Haaland has played in German league before, so they know him, they know who he is, they know his tactics. So it will be difficult for him to bamboozle them the way he has been bamboozling everybody.
They've played against him several times,
so they know him very well. They know how to take him out of it. So it's going to be man for man, except the coach that is more intelligent among the two. Okay, let's start with this 4-2-3-1. But after 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to change the formation. I can't continue to go with this 4-2-3-1. Let me change it to 4-3-3 or what have you. I think that would have been the best option. But I don't see the two teams going to start and finish this match with the same formation of 4-2-3-1. It looks very boring when you play the same formation, because what you'll be doing is mass defense, mass attack. The true pass will not be there. The diagonal will not be there. So what you need to do is to look at your formation, maybe the first 5 minutes, and see what you can do to make sure that you change that formation from the current one that you have. That once I have a ball, I have someone marking me. When I have a ball, I have someone shadowing me. That shouldn't be the case.
Well, from the way it is right now, a big one there coming from the statistician analyst. Let me use that word. But really, it's going to be a big one between Manchester City and Leipzig tonight. Marco Rose against Pep Guardiola. Who wins this battle? We will see tonight. Quickly, before we wrap it up, let's run through some stories. La Liga president Javier Tebas, which forward Kylian Mbappe joins Real Madrid for the sake of making La Liga much more prosperous.
But they have the opportunity, they didn't go for him the other time.
Real Madrid came for him. He said he's staying with PSG.
No, they didn't. No, everybody has a price. Take it or leave it. Everybody has their price. Probably they did not
do more.
But currently, right now, Kylian Mbappe has a contract with PSG until 2025, and he's collecting £6 million per month. So if Real Madrid wants to go for him, they have to buy out his contract. So they should be ready to pay more than £630 million that they signed him for the 3 years. So I don't think it is something that, okay, you're shaking your head, right? When you look at the figure.
the amount of money is too...
The amount, I don't think it is something, and this is the same Real Madrid that they want to go for Jude Bellingham. So I don't really know. Maybe let's assume what they are doing is window shopping. Maybe they have their own targets, and they don't want, because clubs, they do that a lot. They have their own targets that they are working on the ground. But they don't want people to know that this is a player that I want to go for. They'll just throw something out there for people to get distracted. They say, oh, Bellingham, before you know it, they'll just conclude the contract. You just see that, oh, they've signed Adeni Yajichafe in Real Madrid.
That would be nice if I should sign for Real Madrid right now, at least. Even if it's a season, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay for a season.
I won't play again. What's the way to go now? Let's run 3-1. Winger Wilfred Zaha receives £9 million offer from Saudi Arabian side Al Ittihad. Another one says Fulham Marco Silva has emerged as top contender to replace Conte as Tottenham coach, while the last one says Tottenham to make offer for Aston Villa's goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. 3-1.
Okay, and for Wilfred Zaha, I think it won't be a bad idea for him to move to Saudi Arabia. He's 29 years old currently. His contract is going to expire in June or July. He's earning $6.2 million, and they want to offer him £9 million. The only thing that is left for him is to win the trophy, and I don't think a club that is going to, that is going to fight for a trophy will go for Zaha right now. There was a time it was rumored that he wants to go to Arsenal. It would have been a very good opportunity for him. So if you can't get the trophy, you get money. So that's my own opinion. I think he should just go to the Saudi Arabia team. Probably will win a trophy. A trophy is trophy anyway.
Of course.
Either in Saudi, Qatar, Lebanon,
silver.
Whatever it is. Then for the for the second story on the Tottenham, I think Marco Silva should remain where he is right now. He shouldn't make the mistake that Graham Potter made also. He did very well with Fulham, bringing them from the relegation to the Premier League. Currently, they are sitting 8th on the table.
Just remain where you are now. Already.
Don't go to a place where the pressure will come after 3, 4, 5 months. Because if you go to Tottenham right now, the next thing is they want to win trophy. A coach that have never won a trophy before, going to Tottenham that they want to win trophy in the next 1 or 2 years, you just kill his career. Let him concentrate on what he is doing. He should learn the mistake that others have made and just move on with his life.
That would be nice there. Well, let's just hope that Marco Silva will stay where he belongs with Fulham. We've been talking about different sporting stories here in the studio. 360 Sport on Trust TV. Let the battle begin between those 4 clubs: Inter, Porto, Leipzig, Manchester City. To our statistician analyst, let me call you that. Maybe I should change the name with those statistics that you normally give us. So many people out there who actually love those figures. Playing 96 times and winning 27. Anyway, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. What we need to do here is to give them what will make them stick to our station, because if you want to get it right, when it talks to sport, there's no station that you can turn into more than Trust TV.
Good one there. Loyally Peters doing justice to that particular stories there. Now, I am Adeni Ajichafe. Thanks for watching.